Welcome. Another straight up Tuesday tip. I'm 𝗤𝘃𝗀𝗀𝗃. With me as always is Mark Ainley. Perry Farella, you're back here again. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Good. All right. So we had you on here several times. I believe the last time we were talking about ADUs and financing, but you have some good news about the 2022 loan limits. So let's go there, both FHA and conventional. Give us some good news on these upper limits we got here.
Yeah, we have loan limits out now, and they are significantly higher because the average cost across the country of a single family house increased by 18% over the last year. So that's what drives the federal loan limits. So let's just go through the FHA side. There's four numbers: 1 unit, 2, 3, and 4. So FHA went from 379,500 to 426,80 on
and that's a single family?
Yeah. And on a 2 unit, FHA went from 485,800 to 538,650. And on a 3 unit, FHA went from 587,250 to 651,050. Then on a 4 unit,
70K bump. That's big.
Yes. And on a 4 unit, FHA went from 729,800 in 2021 to 809,150 in 2022. And those are significant. We haven't seen high FHA increases like that in a long time.
Yeah, man, those are big. So let's walk us through the conventional. Then I think Mark and I probably have a few questions on it, but let's hear what they did on the conventional side as well.
Okay, so in 2021, on a single family, we were at 548,250 on conventional. Now in 2022, we're at 647,200, nearly a 100K increase. On a 2 unit, we were at 702. Now we're at 828,700. On a 3 unit, we were at 848,500. Now we are at $1,001,650, and that's
huge jump.
And a huge jump on 4 units. We were at $1,054,500. We are now at $1,244,850 on 4 units.
Wow. That's a lot of numbers. What we're going to do when this airs, we'll have a link on our blog that we're going to have. Hopefully you can write something up for us that breaks that down.
Yeah, we said it live, so now you have to do it, Perry. Hey, so real quick, I want to go back to the FHA, not to just completely jump around, but that all sounds great. But assuming on the 3 and the 4 units, we still have the self-sufficiency test. So can you first off give a quick definition of what that is for our listeners who don't know? And then has that number changed at all?
Okay, the self-sufficiency test is on FHA 3 and 4 unit properties only. And what self-sufficiency means is that when we project the rents from all of the units, all 3 or all 4, we will count all 3, including the one that the owner will occupy. We will have the appraiser do a projection of what the rent should be. Then the FHA rule is that they are counted at 75% of gross. So that number, whatever that is, should at least equal the full principal, interest, tax, and insurance payment that everyone will have every month. So a quick example might be if you got 4 apartments in a 4 unit, they're each going to rent for, let's say, $1,000 a month. And we will take 75% of that, which is $750 a month. So then that gives us about $3,000 a month in net income from rent. So then the principal, interest, tax, and insurance cannot be higher than that, or the loan would be denied. And that's called self-sufficiency. That only comes into play on 3 or 4 unit FHAs. It is not on conventional.
Got it. Important to note, especially in some of these higher priced neighborhoods where you have high taxes driving those numbers and rents haven't caught up to that, because we've seen that hit a couple of our clients.
Yeah, you have to project the rents up front and be careful about that.
Yeah. So on the FHA 3 unit and 4 unit bumps, probably not going to be super for everyone because you still have that self-sufficiency test. However, great for 2 units. And also on the conventional side, those were, I can't remember the numbers, but some of those were huge.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers increased on the 2 unit side by about 126,000. On the 3 unit side by almost 150,000, and the 4 unit side by just about 200,000. And that's a reflection of where the prices have been in the last 12 months. But that's very helpful because that also includes renovation dollars. So if you wanted to buy a 2 unit and you had to pay $600,000 for it, Now you can borrow another 128,700 above that and add your renovation dollars in, and you're still at the loan limit of 828,700.
You're still at the loan limit, and with your program, correct me if I'm wrong, you're also fixed in at that rate from day one.
Yeah, these are fixed.
And you technically don't have to refi if you don't want to. You can just roll with that existing loan.
Yeah, it's especially true on conventional because you'd be coming in probably with a 20% down payment. A 2-unit, you can come in owner occupied 15% down. You'd have a small amount of private mortgage insurance. But if you can come in at 20% down, you have no mortgage insurance. Today's rates are still low anyway. So you may never need to refi out of that renovation loan because it's a 30-year loan anyway.
Yeah, and just saves the cost of the refi, right? Then,
right.
Great options. Mark, we got to buy some more brick 2 and 3 units. Come join me.
Yes.
Awesome. So do they ever go backwards on these sort of additions? Like, let's say the market does drop this year, next year, 10 years from now, whatever. Have you ever seen them lower these limits?
No, the limits are not lowered. These limits are based on legislation that was passed many years ago. There were periods about 10 or 15 years ago when prices were dropping after the financial crisis, where the loan limits for several years were just frozen in place. They never increased. And then back around 2012, 2013, they started to slowly increase. And then in recent years, they've been increasing more significantly.
It totally benefits for the markets that have not appreciated, because it's a federal type thing. It totally benefits a place like Chicago that hasn't raised as much as like California. So I think ends up being a big win for us.
Yeah, it's a big one for Chicago because our prices have gone up a lot. And now, you can have a loan on a 3-unit for $1,001,650. And keep in mind, you'd be bringing in a down payment as well. So between your purchase cost and your renovation cost, maybe that's, $200,000 higher, but your loan can still be up to $1,100,650 on a 3-unit, which should give you ample opportunity to buy in and add all the renovation dollars that you might need. And then, of course, you bring in the down payment, which even, brings in a little bit more money.
And
it's crazy. Like, I just want to try to articulate this in a real way for our listeners. Like, if you have a 3-unit that you buy for $600K, you can do $300-400K of rehab and still be well under the limit. Like, I'm not saying you should do that on your first loan, right? Like, or your first property by any means. But if you're comfortable with rehabs, like if I were to house hack something and I bought for $600, I could finance up to $500K of rehab if it made sense to do so. Like, that's crazy. All at 3-something% fixed, not have to refi out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a 30-year AM loan. So, and all we're interested in is the after renovated value. We don't care what you paid for it. We care what it's going to be worth after you put all the renovation dollars into it. And that's what triggers the loan approval is the ARVs. We don't care what you pay. We don't care the condition. It could be, burned out, rotted, flooded, filled with mold. We don't care. All that's going to be remediated with the rehab dollars that you borrow.
I think this is a huge opportunity for people in areas, Lakeview, Lincoln Park, that have these 3 or 4 units, or mostly probably 3 units in this price range that a year ago weren't able to sell to an FHA owner occupied person because of the low limits. And now they could probably get a little more just because they don't have a buyer doesn't have to go conventional. They could go, they have that FHA option. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's just lending is very favorable right now. We're going to look back on this episode in 5 years and be like, man, they were giving money away. Like, lending is very favorable right now. So I should never be able to buy a 3-unit or 4-unit in this city if I'm competing against a house hacker getting a $400K rehab at 3-something%. Like, that's crazy. So, all right, Mark, anything else to add?
Nothing, man. That was action. That was information packed. So we got to get that in writing so we get it on the site for everyone. They could look at their numbers and compare.
Perry's now on the hook for a blog.
Yeah.
All right. I'll get you guys a blog out within the next couple of days.
All right. So, Mark, I have no idea if you'll get this one. Multiple choice here. Let's guess at this. Chicago has more of these than any other city in the world. not just the US, the world. Is it train tracks, movable bridges, sewer system feet length, or pizza joints?
All right. So I would think train tracks or movable bridges would be my first, I'd limit it down to those two.
Okay.
We are the transportation hub of the country. So I think I'm going to go train tracks.
Train tracks. Perry, what do you want to go with?
I'm going to go with movable bridges.
Yeah.
Movable bridges.
Yeah, it should have been. Because you think about just you going downtown or you look at driving on the expressway, all those damn bridges, those movable bridges, most of them exist because of the train tracks, especially when you get to the southwest side. Oh man, yeah. I should have went with my gut there.
Yeah, so. Pizza joints would throw you off a little.
No, I knew it wasn't pizza joints. I think New York beats us at that no matter what. So even though we got better pizza, it's just not as many. We're about quality, not quantity. All right, man. Awesome, Perry. Thank you coming back as always. And Tom, thank you very much as always. And listeners, depending when this airs, we either just hit or are about to hit 100,000 downloads. And we just want to take this second and say thank you very much for, we couldn't have hit 100,000 without you guys. And it's you guys listening. It's you guys coming back every week. It's you guys sharing it with your friends. So thank you very much and keep sharing so we can hit 200,000 faster.
Love it. Thank you all.
Yep. Thank you. See you Thursday.
Thanks.